Hello guys, it's Lucy. I have pushed my League Starter Strength Command to its final state. In this video, I would like to give you a quick summary and introduction to my setup. I have cleared all Uber bosses and capable running every farming strategy. I'm also able to AFK Ultimatum and simulate Quant whenever I'm tired of mapping. It's a true all-rounder and the king of AFK content. Basically, I feel my journey with this character is complete, while there is still some room to min-max the DPS and tankiness. But I have already cleared all the content, so I would prefer to save my currency to try out other interesting builds this league. So far, I have spent about 200 Divine Orb on this character. However, that's because I crafted almost everything myself, including the corrupted unique item. So if you were to buy everything directly from the market, it would be more expensive. Alright, let's start from gear. My helmet uses an Ancient Core with a +2 to Saki Genes implicit. I've sucked my Imbued Feeding Frenzy Enemy Guardian setup here. This implicit is incredibly strong because it doesn't just give +2 to the Guardian, it also gives +2 to the Empower support, resulting in a level 6 Empower. So this implicit literally gives a +4, pushing my Enemy Guardian all the way to level 27. This specific implicit is very rare that can only be obtained through Ultimatum. It initially drops on the Glimpse of Chaos unique helmet. Once you use a Var Orb to corrupt it, there is a chance it will break, or transform into a random unique helmet. Like this one. That's why an Ancient Core with this exact implicit is so hard to find. It was cheap in early league, but it has now become very expensive. This is a min-max item. If you are on a budget, you can simply use a +2 Minion Gen implicit instead. Okay, about my body armor, I use a Strength Command with the reduced extra damage from Critical Strike implicit, or you can use the +1 maximum resist, both works, just to become more tankiness. And the amulet is Bonito's Vow, and I changed my anoint to Prismatic Skin to get more extra maximum resistance. And the shield I use Aegis Aurora, or you can use Valley. I found that Aegis Aurora is already tanky enough and it's very cheap this league, so I can find good implicit on it. But if you are rich, you can of course use Valley to be slightly more tankier. And for my ring, I use a well-crafted life and chaos resist minion ring to get minion movement speed, minion damage, and also minion attack speed. And you can use the Calendra's Touch to mirror it. And the build, of course, I use full Bone Solar Seer to get instant leech and immortal ambition. And you can also find good implicit on it. I personally hit a rarity item found myself. And for the glove and boot, just simply get more resistance as you can. Yeah, we are very lacking of resistance. And on glove, you can reserve a prefix to craft minion damage and also the implicit to roll the minion damage. For the weapon, we use the 4-bone severe in sleep. And for the weapon, you can also min-max by using the volatile Var Orb. It can possibly to push the critical strike chance to 6% and also the crit multi to the 6%. So like this. Okay, it's break. Yeah, so if you want to push this build to the limit, then you can try to gamble a great severe in sleep by yourself. Okay, so those gears with those flasks are basically my mapping setup. When mapping, my aura use Determination, Haste, and Flash and Stone, and Tempest Shield. When I'm tired of mapping and I want to go AFK, I will use the Arctic Armor to replace the Flash and Stone to change my aura setup. Then if I want to go Uber bossing, then here is my bossing setup. I have to swap the flask and the ring, like this. And use Screaming Terror to replace one of my bone ring. Okay, and also the Pantheon, we have to choose the Sword of Reslasha to get the flask recharge. With this setup, we are able to sustain the maximum number of empty weapons even in the boss run. Okay, so next part is the passive tree and the jewels. The first I want to talk about is my talent jewel, Elegant Hubris. I use this Caspiro Elegant Hubris to get Supreme Ostentation and one Slum Lord for minion damage, and also the Eternal Resilience to get Enduring Charge. Basically, that's all I need, and the rest nodes are just maximum life and block chance, and they are irrelevant. And I think it's really good to get one of the node to be the Enduring Charge, because with this, we can drop our small armor cluster to become one additional gas TI for more damage. And the value of one gas TI is actually almost the same as one Slum Lord. So literally, you can treat this jewel as a 2 Slum Lord jewel because it has one Enduring Charge and one Slum Lord. And it was really cheap. I borrowed this one just for 1d1. And you don't have to use the exact number like mine. There are a lot of numbers if you're only searching for one Slum Lord and one Enduring Charge. There's a lot of options. Okay, and basically I open 3 big clusters. Here. So the principle is to open here as much as jewel slot. And for the big cluster, you should search for the Vicious Bite, so Renew, and the third node, it must be the Wraith and Pillage, or the Rotten Cloud. Because if the third node is Rotten Cloud and Wraith and Pillage, then it will always in this position, which means we can literally just use 5 points to get the Renew and the Vicious Bite and 2 jewel slots. It can save a lot of points to open a big cluster. So we can get enough points to open our third cluster. And my passive tree, I decide to go south, so I can get more life and maximum resistance here, or also Enduring Charge. And the most important is I can directly access to the mountain to keep my block chance. And in this case, I can change my Amulet Anointment to get a Prismatic Skin for more maximum elemental resistance. And also go south, there are a lot of good life nodes here. And also, so that's why I open my third cluster jewel here. But to achieve this, it's better to have the block spell damage node on your talent jewel, because we have to respect all the nodes here to spare the point. So in this case, you may kind of lacking some chance of the block spell damage chance. So it's really good to find it on the talent jewel. And for the mastery, one for the mastery, I use the Ringgraph of the Treasury for more reservation efficiency, and Ringgraph of the Fortress for the global defense, and tattoo every my attribute to a resistance. Basically, just it. And also you can get the Corrupted Blood immune on the mastery here. So the principle is to open as much as jewel slot to suck it as much gas TI as possible, so our damage can reach 100 million. Okay, so next to talk about my Enemy Guardian gear. The weapon, of course, I use Void Forge, and I currently using a 860% Void Forge. It's from the gamble of the Volatile Var Orb, so take your own risk. And Master Stitch Demon for a lot of life regen. And the boot, I use Windscreen with the +1 Enduring Charge implicit to combo with my body armor to have the implicit with the gain Enduring Charge when my AG get hit recently, and also use the guard to immune to critical strike chance. So when they combo together, my Enemy Guardian can always have full Enduring Charge. For the glove, use Grab Bind with the Curse Enfeeble on hit. And remember, because the boot using the Windscreen, it can have one additional curse from your Enemy Guardian. So this curse on hit will not overlap the original curse from your character. Basically, we can have 2 curses when during the boss fight. Okay, I think that's everything about my strength command this league. I will put a detailed POB in the description if you want to check more information like Gen League or something. Yeah, basically I will still keep this build to FK in the Blighted Ravaged when I play my second character, because the Blighted Ravaged now is 20 device per hour income. That's incredible. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Keep safe and see you next time.